There's been so much talk recently in the news about retirement and when people can actually make a claim, but also how much is it going to be. In the video today, I'm going to answer this question, but also show you how you can actually find out when you can retire, or when you can retire according to the state pension retirement age, how much you're going to receive when you retire, and what you can do to make up the shortfall. I'm also going to share with you a few other tips and hints that you might find useful as you get closer and closer to retirement. Now you might think, well, I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, it really doesn't matter. Let me tell you, you might as well do this because it's going to be no skin off your back, I think is the term. So yes, let's get started. Now, if we've never met, I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Hannah and I'm on a mission to make retirement planning a fun, fruitful and fulfilling activity. The first thing that you want to do is to understand, well, what is your state retirement age? Now, this has actually changed quite a bit in recent years, and your retirement age is actually going to be 66, 67 or 68, depending on where you were born. And what I'll do is I'll pop a link down below where you can actually go and find out exactly what your state retirement age is going to be. Now, the earlier you do this, the better it will be later on. Now, the key thing that you want to do once you know your state retirement age is you want to try and identify how many years worth of national insurance contributions you've actually made. And this can be partly NI credits, then you can actually claim when you get to that age the state pension. And to get the full state pension, you actually need 35 years of NI contributions. Now, depending on how old you are, you might think 35 years, that seems like a really long time. Well, let's think about it like this. If you're currently 21, or if you started working when you were 21, obviously you might have started when you were 16, but let's just assume for a moment that you started working when you were 21. If you work for 35 years, 35 plus 21 is 56. So you've still actually got plenty of time before you reach state retirement age, because as I said, state retirement age is either 66, 67 or 68. So you will have worked for a reasonable amount of time, and it might not be that you've worked as an employee, but if you've been running a business, then the chances are that you've been making NI contributions in some way or another. So that's the important thing that I need to point out for you in terms of the eligibility criteria, which is actually really important to know. The other thing that's important for you to know is, how do you actually go about finding out this information? Because it's all well and good me telling you that this is the retirement age, or state retirement age I should say, but actually you need to know how to do this. And what I will do is I will actually pop a link down below in the description for you so you can actually go through this process yourself. And it's really simple, because all you need to do is make sure that you have a personal tax account. And to do that, let me actually show you how to do that so that you can actually do this for yourself. But it's a very, very simple, straightforward process. So this is what you'll need to do to access your personal tax account. When you click on the .gov.uk website, the first thing that you'll be asked to do is to prove your identity to continue. Now, this assumes obviously that you already have a personal tax account. If you do, then you can continue to sign in using the government gateway system, which is the first option here. Alternatively, you can use the verify system. And if you don't have a personal tax account, then obviously you can create an account here. This is the information that will be presented to you once you're into your account, and this page shows you an example of what your state pension summary might look like. And we've used an orange box just to blank out all the personal records, but also just so that you can see the information that you should be looking out for when you come to reviewing your own records. So this is an example of a pension statement summary, and as you can see, it's less than £10,000 a year. And it also goes on to say that this forecast is not a guarantee and it does not include any increase due to inflation. And then the rest of the screen just shows you what the estimated state pension is going to be each week based on your national insurance records as at the 5th of April this current year. But bear in mind that you'll still have many more years to go before retirement date. And the forecast, if you contribute another X number of years, before the 5th of April of whatever your retirement year is will be filled in here on the screen, then you'll see that, for example, the amount for this person is £179.60 a week. And then it also says this is the most that you can get. And it also tells you what you can do if you wish to improve your current forecast. Then it includes potentially putting off or deferring your pension. Okay, so here are some options that you will see as you proceed through your personal tax account. Remember, this is personal to you, so don't look at your sisters or your brothers or whoever else is. Look at yours, because everyone's is going to be different depending on your employment history / the amount of national insurance contributions that you've made over the years. So this is what it looks like, and then on this page it also shows you what your national insurance record is. Now this is the bit where you'll know, for example, whether you've actually accumulated 35 years worth of NI contributions or whether you've got substantial shortfalls. It will actually tell you this on this screen. Now what's really important is that you may or may not be aware, but women often find that they don't have up to 35 years of employment records for whatever reasons, whether that's because they've taken time out to look after children or look after dependents, or it might be that in fact they've been in quite low paying jobs where they've not actually had an opportunity to make NI contribution. So there are a variety of reasons that specifically affect women, so do bear that in mind if you are a woman or if you know a woman who's actually going through this process. So be compassionate when you're looking at this. The other thing it will tell you is when you click in on any of those links where it tells you the year is not full, then you click on any of them, and this is an example of what you might see when you're shown the information that is incomplete. And as I said, there are opportunities to make up voluntary contributions, and the amount shown here, which is £300 in this example, might be different for you, so do bear that in mind. You might think, well, is it actually worth all of this effort? Because the current state pension is under £10,000 a year. Now, I can hear some of you saying, what? Is that all? Yes, that's absolutely all. And that is the absolute maximum. And that's only if you've actually got 35 years worth of contributions. Now, you might think, well, is it actually worth the effort? Well, I would say yes, because even if you're not spending that yourself, you can use that towards your grandchildren, or, think about you can use that to go on a next holiday or take up a new hobby. So yes, it's definitely worth investing a little bit of time in finding out for yourself how much your state retirement pension is going to be, when you're going to get it. But also, for example, if you have less than the 35 years and you think, well, okay, how can I make sure that I actually get the maximum? There is actually a process that you can go through where you can actually potentially pay some of the arrears, if you like, in terms of your national insurance contributions. However, there is a limit, and the limit is you can only actually go back to the last 6 years. Now, please don't ask me why it's only 6 years. I really don't understand it, and I really don't understand why the government have actually capped it to the last 6 years. And I think someone should actually start a petition about this, because ultimately any money that you pay towards national insurance contributions goes towards obviously the benefit system, but also it goes towards funding the NHS. Now, I don't know about you, but I've heard lots of people saying that the NHS is underfunded, so this would be a really good way to encourage people to actually contribute towards making sure that our NHS remains one of the leading organisations where you can actually go to get health care and service, certainly in Europe. But anyway, so that was just a little bit of a sidebar, but I think that's quite interesting that they've limited it to 6 years. But anyway, it is what it is. But at least if you start now, then this is an opportunity for you to actually go back 6 years. What I've shared with you today is how you can find out your state pension age. I've also shared with you what the amount of the state pension is today, and it's under £10,000 a year. But I've also told you that, for example, if you don't meet the criteria for the maximum state pension, you can go back and pay a top up, if you like, to make sure that actually you get more years of contributions added to your records. And then the other thing that I want to share with you is that if you decide that, for example, you're not going to have sufficient years, or you're just a couple of years short, it might be that when you get to state retirement age that you consider deferring your pension. That's also an option. And again, I will post the links down below so you can go and check this out for yourself. Yes, the other thing that I want to share with you is if you happen to find yourself in a situation where actually you don't meet the criteria for the state pension, then there is some light at the end of the tunnel, which is that you can actually claim pension tax credits. And this is a benefit for the UK, where when you reach retirement age is actually when you claim it. Now, if you're watching this video, it's likely that you've got quite a few more years to go before you reach retirement age. So your best course of action is to actually look to see how you can increase your pension now, so that when you actually get to retirement age, you're going to have more than enough to make sure that you not only survive, but actually that you thrive in retirement. So I hope you found this somewhat useful in terms of finding out what your retirement age is, how much it's going to be, and what you need to do to make sure that your national insurance contribution records are up to date. Thanks so much indeed for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.